I am really excited about this one. This deck is an absolute banger. A Juggernaut deck is the type of deck that revolves around just one Pokemon in the active position, sometimes supported by Pokemon on the bench, sometimes not. As far as this deck goes, our Juggernaut is Magnezone EX, so it's a particularly no-frills Stage 2 EX Pokemon with a couple of interesting attacks. The first one does more damage based on the number of energy your opponent has in play, which can be quite effective against a few of the different Pokemon out there that do like to maintain a board of lots of energy, such as Arceus V-Star, whilst the second attack can knock out quite a few relevant Pokemon for just 2 energy, doing 220 damage and 30 damage of recoil. The strengths that lend themselves to this Pokemon being a pretty good candidate for a Juggernaut strategy are that it's got, a lot of HP, but also a somewhat uncommon weakness at the moment. Now, what makes this a Juggernaut strategy is the engine built around keeping the Magnezone EX in play, which is a combination of Slowbro, Hero's Cape, and Bianca's Devotion. Once the Magnezone takes damage, you use a Slowbro with Hero's Cape equipped to absorb damage counters onto itself with Strange Behavior, and once you're at 19 damage counters, use Bianca's Devotion to heal all of the damage on Slowbro. It's a super cool strategy and one which addresses the restriction on Bianca, which requires the target to have 30 or less HP remaining, as you can manipulate how many damage counters are on the Slowbro through use of Strange Behavior. This strategy is pretty unique. Professor Turo and Penny are more common as options amongst the more conventional decks in the format, as they are far more flexible, but Bianca's Devotion sort of allows us to maintain the Pokemon in play, which Turo and Penny do not. You can make up for lost time spent setting up by denying prizes through the strategy in the mid to late game. And while this deck may not be the most competitive, it is really fun to play. Other than the star Pokemon, you've got Bibarel for draw, you've got a Manaphy to protect your bench. Trainers supporting your setup include Arven to search out your Buddy-Buddy Poffin, Ultra Ball, Rare Candy, Technical Machine Evolution, whilst items like Super Rod, Counter Catcher, and your other tools can be found with it later. Iono helps with early game hand refresh and late game disruption, while Boss's Orders rounds out your gusting options. Bianca, of course, is your other supporter here as a 2-of, which will often be enough to see out a game. This deck contains a few tool cards to talk about other than the Technical Machine Evolution. You've got Hero's Cape as part of the healing strategy, and a Luxurious Cape which can serve the same function as Hero's Cape in a pinch by attaching this to Slowbro. Defiance Vest is here to provide just a pinch more survivability for Magnezone against certain attacks, such as a maximum belt-empowered Lost Impact. Though I will say that after playing in a tournament on the weekend, I might suggest swapping Defiance Vest out for a choice belt to help you in certain matchups like Dialga V-Star, and you could consider cutting Luxurious Cape for something like another Iono or another consistency card. It's totally up to you. We've got a couple of Artazon here to help set up in the early game, and the energy is comprised of a very lean count of 7 lightning energy and a mist energy to help prevent an instant KO or a devolution on Magnezone. In the early game, you're going to go wide on the board with Magnemite and Bidoof. Get Slowpoke if you're able to, but it's not necessary immediately. If you went first, and you can try to angle for a second turn Magnezone if the opportunity presents itself, but depending on the matchup, you don't need to rush. If there's no opportunity for that quick Magnezone, or if you're going second, Arven is there to fetch Buddy-Buddy Poffin and Technical Machine Evolution. Technical Machine Evolution fetches Magneton and Bibarel, which makes the transition into the mid-game very smooth. In the mid-game, you want to be attacking with Magnezone EX while setting up Slowbro on the bench. It needs to be in play by the time Magnezone EX starts taking damage, so ideally aim to have it in play a turn after you establish the Magnezone EX. Once Magnezone takes a hit, equip Slowbro with the Hero's Cape, move damage counters across, and once you get to 19, heal Slowbro with Bianca. After playing Bianca, you can even continue to use Strange Behavior and move even more damage across. Rinse and repeat into the late game. You need to be deliberate with how you use the 2 attacks on Magnezone EX. Energy Crush may do less damage than Pulse Launcher, but Energy Crush does not cause Magnezone to damage itself. Can you get away without using Pulse Launcher, or will it be impossible to 2-hit KO a threat without it? One last consideration for you is that Slowbro's Strange Behavior ability can actually be used to knock out Slowbro itself. So first of all, be careful when you use the ability, but also sometimes there's positions where you want to do this. The most common scenario is when you're even on prizes and you want to be able to use Counter Catcher, ideally on a turn where you can win the game. In a similar vein, you could also consider knocking out Slowbro to maintain a prize deficit for Defiance Vest to stay active, but it is pretty risky. This deck is awesome, but it has got some pretty tough matchups. Against Chen Pao and Goldengo EX, your damage tanking is non-existent, and the way that you have to try and beat them is by using Hero's Cape on the Magnezone EX instead of onto the Slowbro. This is to try and force your opponent to have to stretch their resources to be able to get that magical one-hit KO on the Magnezone. Control is another matchup that I haven't fully designed a way around. I'm considering ideas like an extra switch or Luminous Energy so that you can use Magneton and Slowpoke to retrieve item cards when they're stuck in the active. Mimikyu is another tricky obstacle to think about too, but I consider Gardevoir a really terrible matchup, so I haven't really put any thought or resources into trying to beat that matchup specifically. When I started building this concept, I started with Magnezone EX because it's a stage 2 EX with a relatively uncommon weakness. With Bibarel, it was certainly able to set up pretty easily, but it lacked a bit of spice, you know, like a little bit of pizzazz that it needs to be interesting. It wasn't enough with just Magnezone EX and Bibarel on its own, and so after a bit of brainstorming and trying to come up with some different ideas, this is what I came up with, and it really surprised me how well it works when it wants to work. The deck might not win you every game, but it is very satisfying and very different to play, so hopefully that's reason enough for you to give it a go. I'm going to leave you now with some sample gameplay, but before I go, I'm just going to invite you once again, maybe leave a like, comment down below, let me know what you think of decks that look a little bit different like this, and I'll see you in the next live stream or video. I'm live on Twitch multiple nights a week, and I'd love to see you there. Alright, thanks all, enjoy, see ya. So the thing that I really want is to just get one example game where I pull off the Slowbro combo. Alright, in this game, yeah, it could be this game, who knows? But it's yeah, it's rough. So it only makes sense to discard Devotion and Artazon here. Everything else is definitely like a keep. And I need another Magnemite to just chill in the back. And I need to be able to threaten the turn 2 knockout like I did last game. So the difficult thing about this is I've got a tough choice to make with Ultra Ball. So it is Schnee, but what I will say is that the difference between Turo and Bianca is that the Pokemon that is effectively healed, which is Magnezone, doesn't get removed from play or like put back into your hand, and that's like the key difference. So thinking about it more, what you really want to run the combo with is like a Pokemon where the appeal of or like the Pokemon itself is like really, it's like really strong, but like kind of tough to get into play. So once you get it into play, you never want it to leave play, if that makes sense. I think the smart thing here would be just to set up and go wide. You know, use the Buddy Poffin. I don't know. I think the smart thing would be to use the Buddy Poffin. And we play this a little slow. Nothing wrong with playing slow. Got 1 Bibarel, 2 Magneton, 2 Slowbro. And then we just Iono. Hopefully we get TM Evolution, or otherwise other evolutions. That's pretty good. But this means that the... Oh, wait. We had 2 Magneton, right? So if I do this... And I do this... Wait. Wait. There's still a world where we attack this turn. So what's left? Slowbro, Magneton. Okay. Boom. So if we hit the Rare Candy, we can play this turn differently. We could play it differently, but I don't think we will. I do sort of want to go into Magnezone here, right? But still use the TM Evolution rather than attack. And then maybe we use the Slowbro to heal off the damage that they might do here. Magneton. Slowbro. You jinxed it? Nah. Mazzani. If you use a deck that's good in the meta, but not good enough and lose streak, do you try again or do you change? Or you just... Okay, so I think... Okay, so what you're asking is... Should you... If you play a deck that's, like, meant to be the best... Tell me if I've got this right. Let's say you're playing Charizard, and it's, like, the best deck in the format, but then you lose, like... I don't know, you play, like, 5 games and you lose 4. Is that... And you're asking... Should you switch, or should you try a different deck? 2 pieces of advice. If what I'll say is, yes, switching decks is good if you are losing a lot. Definitely, just go like, okay, what's the next best deck, because this one's not working at the moment. Because there's a lot of different factors, right? Your deck could be the best deck in format, but you might be only facing Control and a Spathra, or like just a bunch of decks that just beat you. So you have to switch in those cases. You got to adapt to what you're facing a lot online. Or go to bed. One of the two. Go to bed and just time travel to the future, and then in the future you'll be doing all right. You'll do better. Okay? Okay, alright. What's going on? Poffin? Yep. Fill out the bench. I think we Bibarel for 2, and then we Iono. I think that sees the most cards. Do we like Rod here? I think I kind of do. I kind of want to get like Magneton and Magnemite back. We don't need to get all of them back. But just... Oh, Slowbro as well, actually. Yeah, so that's good. I don't want the belt back in deck. I also don't want it on one of my attacking Pokemon. Because there's no EXs to be found. Sorry, V Pokemon to be found. Typically. Yeah. Energy. We sort of start to force the issue here. Pulse Launcher. Knock them out, right? 30 to ourselves, but that's fine, because they haven't got a lot going on their side. Got the boss's orders. So the minute that they want to start powering something else up, can target it down. Not on the Slowbro. Oh, true. Yeah. I shouldn't have put it on the Slowbro. Whoops. Putting it on the Slowbro was bad because obviously that's where I want Hero's Cape to go. But thankfully we've got the other Slowbro to work with. we'll be able to suck the damage counters off the Magnezone. Keep it healthy. I'm glad that that helps, Mazani. It's interesting, right? Mahasni, I should be pronouncing your name correctly. A lot of theory about like playing in ranked ladders like this is not really like it's kind of unique to the environment that you're playing in. And it's not really like the same type of advice that you might see when somebody's just explaining how to play a deck better, or like theory of competing in Pokemon TCG tournaments. It's a very different setting. But it is enjoyable. It's enjoyable. I'm just glad I don't have to commit so much time to grind to like the highest rank anymore. It's like actually appealing to play now. Come on. More. More. Put more in. Come on. Come on. Go on. Put 2 down. 2 on the Iron Hands. If they put even 1 energy in play, it's fantastic for us. Having the boss's orders here is so good. Bro, what's going on? Nothing! Ah, they know what they're doing. Very, very cool. Okay. Slowbro. Magneton. We can get the rod out of our hand. Boom, boom. I'm not going to grab anything because I want to draw cards. And I know that one of the Bibarel is prized. Counter catcher? Oh, that is really, really good. That is really good. So, strange behavior will move the damage to the Slowbro. I think that's good enough for now. Boomba. This is a really good spot for us. We're really happy. It means that they can't draw cards off the gift energy as well. Fantastic. So this is a miserable position for them. Yeah, the combo is online. Bidoof! Excuse me? Whoa. That flashbang. Alright, Bidoof knocked out. Promote the Magnezone. 3-3 on the prizes, and a pretty good position availing itself to us. Once again, a boss's orders. Do we get a knockout though? That's the problem. Oh, we do. We can knock out the other Iron Crown. This is pretty bad for them. Keep ourselves topped off. Not that it's like too much of a big deal. But yeah, we're sitting pretty at the moment. And now, it's pretty much GG. I really sort of just don't see a way out for them here. There's that Hero's Cape I was missing before. Iono. Alright. The problem is for them to ever attack with the Iron Hands now, they must attach one more... Well, no, they can arm press us, right? So now they get a turn of reprieve. Now they get to... And so, like, now this is actually scary, because they could go ampy very much. So, for all my confidence before, we're actually pretty close to losing. That's really interesting, that the deck is still, like, in a reasonable position. So, what we really need is... Okay! Alright, alright, alright. We got it, we got it, we got it, we got it, we got it. And so just in time, without precisely this combo, without being able to do this, they can go for ampy very much. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. We got the combo. Nice. And now we just get to keep moving more damage off. So we're as far away from potentially losing as we possibly can be. Energy Crush for 200. Try your best. Try your best. See how close they were to winning? They actually set themselves up really well to, like, try and angle for some kind of ampy very much, take 3 prizes to win scenario. So, like, they gave it a good go. But unfortunately, we were just able to keep them out of options the whole game. And being able to, like, Bianca heal all the damage off meant that we were able to sort of protect our position really well. So disrespectful. Pretty funny. They're not giving up either. Like, yeah, I guess you could try and, like, manually retreat and attack with this one instead. Dang, dude. Oh! Wait, what? That ain't gonna work. I want to be more hype, but my my throat is giving me some grief. Oh! Never give up! Never give up! Dude, never give up. Alright. Game on. We've got Switch in the deck somewhere. So let's try and draw into it with incisors. Otherwise, we'll have to Iono. Actually, no, we should... Okay, so I was going to say Iono first, go to one card, then draw up. Try and just draw it. Because you don't want to, like... You don't want to draw, then play Iono to 1, and then end turn. That would be bad. But hey... They saw the writing was on the wall. So there you have it, Magnezone EX. If you enjoyed that game, because that will definitely be the YouTube game, maybe just hit me up with a follow on Twitch, a like on the YouTube. Maybe do it in the other order. Like on YouTube, follow on Twitch, and let me know what you thought in the comments. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.